So, as I was saying before, so it was easy for me to detach, from them as recently. That happened after before my mom's passing. It happened. My mom was really sick towards the end. She had Alzheimer's and dementia, um, and due to differences in the family, and again, stories that were made up, I was kept from seeing my mother the last 3 years of her life. So the last time I saw her was at my home. There are some of you that know what happened in the story behind it. Um, my mother was very aggressive in her older years, um, obviously because of the health and everything like that. And my mom did not want to be in my home. She was used to being in hers and her comfort level. And I understand too, people at that advanced age in that type of condition, it's understandable that would be the case. So my mom was in my home, not the home that I live in right now, in my previous one, and she was in the living room watching TV. She was calm as could be, and I went to the kitchen and started prepping dinner. My youngest son came down, and again, I'm not mentioning my children's names either in this. My youngest came down and asked me where grandma was, and I said she's in the living room. And when he looked at me, he was like, "No, she isn't." And I was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" We rushed back to the living room, see that she's not there. We searched the entire house. We couldn't find her. We noticed that the front door was still locked. However, the top lock had been opened. My mother let herself out of the house, locked the bottom lock behind herself so that nobody would pick up that she had left, and left the house. What direction she went into, I don't know. Please keep in mind, she did not have any ID, a wallet, money, nothing. She probably without me noticing got dressed, had her jacket, and she took off. So that was roughly about 6 o'clock in the evening. Um, my sister, one of my sisters who lived with her, was sitting in a casino with another one of my sisters. Um, the only thing I will say is this in regards to it. Y'all know damn well you didn't take care of that woman right. I know damn well, as I know, as I told y'all that. Regardless of anything, y'all weren't there. So when I finally got a hold of my sister's ranting, screaming that, I let her get out, this, that, the other, how could this happen? Like I'm being blamed for it. So um, at that point, I had already called the cops. The cops had come to the house. They went through the household. They had to search the house. They did. I called some of my friends, and some of my friends came over, and we had a search party looking for her. So, a bunch of my friends, who I thank, drove around looking for her. Unfortunately, we couldn't find her anywhere in the vicinity and stuff like that. So, when I came back home, and as the police were still searching for her, my youngest son calls me, and this, I'm here again on the phone with my sister, and she's yelling and she's all upset and stuff like that. And here comes my youngest son calling me, my oldest calling me, I should say, telling me that my mother just got out of a taxi and was in the building going to the apartment. And he saw her walking into the building, so naturally he followed behind her when she got inside. So, he gets her on camera and everything like that. I see her, everything. She's not talking to me. She doesn't even want to look at the phone. And she knows what she did, at the time. So that's neither here or there. But, however, it was asked to my mother what, what, how did she get home? And my mother turned around, and mind you, she has Alzheimer's and dementia. So at that, they'll come up with all sorts of stories and everything. Well, my mother turned around and told my sister that I had paid for an Uber for her to go home. That's not true. An Uber from Midtown Manhattan to Staten Island, or from Staten Island to Midtown Manhattan, is about $100. Probably a little more from where I live. So at this point, at that point, I was not spending that type of money. Like, there was no way that was happening. Um, and the following day, I was being accused of that. My sister that was staying with my mother openly went and told the family that I paid for an Uber to to send my mom home, keeping in mind that I showed my sister my Uber account because those are permanent records, and I sent her a screenshot of the Uber account. That didn't matter. She still ran with the story.